Hi, and welcome to Story Time. I'm going to read a book called The Egg Thief. And I thought about this book because it's getting close to Easter, and eggs remind me of Easter. This was written by Alane Adams and illustrated by Lauren Gallegos. Georgie rubbed the sleep from his eyes. It was dark outside. The rooster had just given his first crow of the day. "Do I have to go to the barn, Mama?" he said, yawning. "Those eggs aren't going to collect themselves, Georgie." "But I'm so tired." His head hit the table with a thunk. Mama just smiled. "Get the bucket from the porch and go on now." I think they must live on a farm, because roosters crow on a farm when it's really early in the morning. Georgie dragged himself out the door. Rain had come during the night. His boots squelched in the mud as he walked to the barn. A barn gives me another clue that they are probably on a farm. And squelched means to squish in the mud. He reached inside the first nest, wiggling his fingers under the fat hen. The nest was empty. Georgie went to the next hen. Her nest was empty too. He lifted the hen up just to be sure. "What'd you do with my eggs?" he asked. The hen ruffled her feathers and squawked loudly. "I can't go back empty-handed. Mama will think I'm trying to dodge my chores. Please, just one egg." But the hen refused to budge. Georgie went down the row of nests. Not a single egg. He scratched his head. What's going on? Now, trying to dodge his chores means he thought Mama might think he was trying to get out of doing his chores. Just then, Georgie heard a low growl. He stepped back, dropping the pail. A giant wolf was crouched in the corner. Georgie threw his arms up, about to scream, when he got a closer look. That would scare me. That scared you? Scare me. "You're not a wolf." He lowered his arms. "You're just a dog." A scruffy black and tan hound shivered in the cold air. Broken eggshells littered the barn floor. "You stole my eggs," Georgie scolded. He sat down on a barrel. "If I tell Mama you ate them, she'll send you to the pound." The dog dropped to the ground and covered its eyes with its paws. "What's your name, anyways?" The dog looked up at Georgie with large brown eyes and whimpered once. "You don't talk much. I think I'll call you Buster. But you have to square things with me if I'm going to keep you around. I need some eggs. You got any ideas?" Buster barked once, as if to say he had a great idea. "All right then, show me." He found his eggs, that scruffy dog. Scruffy means he was rough, his hair was rough looking. Buster took off in a dead run. Georgie followed, stretching his legs to keep up. Now, a dead run means he was running fast. Georgie was trying to keep up. They were headed for the creek. Buster slowed as they got close, slinking through the high grass. The sun was just coming up over the other side. The creek was swollen from rain the night before. Georgie parted the reeds and saw a pair of ducks on the bank. "What good are a bunch of ducks?" Georgie whispered. The dog crawled forward and nosed the grass aside. And then Georgie saw it. Wonder what the plan is here. They were slinking through the grass, so I don't think they wanted them to see them. A nest in the mud filled with duck eggs. There were 4 of them, large and golden brown, twice the size of chicken eggs. Oh no, I wonder what the plan is here. Those are really pretty eggs, aren't they? Georgie reached for one of the eggs, but the mama duck spied him and began squawking and flapping her wings at him. Georgie tried to back away, but his boots slipped on the muddy bank. He fell backward into the rushing water. The cold made him gasp. His boots filled up fast, dragging him down. "Buster, help!" he cried. The duck did not want him messing with her eggs, did he? Or she? Buster dove in and grabbed Georgie's shirt but with his teeth, tugging the boy back to shore. Grabbing some reeds, Georgie pulled himself up the bank. "You saved my life, Buster, but I still don't have any eggs." Buster whined and ran in a circle around him. Georgie sighed. "I'm not sure I'm ready for another one of your ideas." But Buster was insistent, barking and prancing until Georgie gave in and followed. Have you ever been on a creek bank? That's the edge of the water. They ran across the fields until they reached Widow Cowbuck's land. The widow lived on the edge of town in a run-down house with broken shutters. "Where are you going, Buster?" Georgie shouted. I don't know. I wonder what his plan is. The dog ran around to the back. A few hens pecked in the yard. The chicken coop looked like a stiff wind would blow it down. "Stop, Buster! I can't take Miss Cowbuck's eggs." Georgie dove, trying to stop the dog from going into the yard. Wonder what he's got planned. But it was too late. Mrs. Cowbuck came out the back door carrying a pail. She looked at the boy in surprise. "Georgie, have you come to help me collect my eggs?" "Well, yes, ma'am," he stuttered. "Here," she held out the pail. "If you pick up the eggs, I'll give you half of whatever you find." Georgie took the pail. "Really?" The widow nodded and turned to go back inside. "Come by any time. Maybe you can fix up the coop for me." Georgie looked down at Buster. "How did you know she needed help?" The dog barked once. So he's not going to have to take them without her knowing, is he? Georgie set to picking up the eggs. There were quite a few. He left the pail full on Mrs. Cowbuck's porch and put his share in his shirt tail. That means he pulled up his shirt and put them on there, kind of like on the cover here. By the time Georgie climbed his porch, the sun had fully risen and his stomach was rumbling with hunger. He dumped his eggs in a pail. Buster sat hesitantly at the bottom of the steps. "What are you waiting for?" Georgie asked. "You're a part of this family now." The dog bounded onto the porch and Georgie wrapped him in a big hug. "Now we just have to talk Mama into it." What a cute little story. And who knew that chores could lead to so much trouble and gaining a friend? I hope you enjoyed.